In order to create a storage credential, we need to go to Catalog, go to External Data, under Catalog, and then go to Credentials, then Create Credential. So click on this to create a storage credential. We need to enter our choice of credential name and then the Access Connector ID. This Access Connector ID will be the resource ID of the Access Connector for Azure Databricks that we had created on Azure. Now go over to your Azure portal or the Access Connector resource page. Click on Go to Resource. This is the Access Connector. We are on the resource page of our Big Data External Access Connector, the Access Connector for Azure Databricks. So we could simply copy the resource ID here. This is the resource ID, and there's a copy button here. You could just click on the copy button to copy the resource ID, or go to the left nav bar. Under Settings, there is Properties. Click on Properties, and the resource ID is here again. We can copy it from this place and head back to your Databricks workspace. In the form, paste the resource ID of the Access Connector you'd like to use for your storage credential and leave everything else as default. When we try to create the storage credential using the current account that I have, this might fail. This might not work. But for some of you, it might work. There's a work around it. I'll show you how to do that. Most people encounter this error when they are trying to create a storage credential on Azure Databricks. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to work around it. So let's click on Create, see if it works. And there we have the error, it doesn't work. I'll show you how to work around this. Click on Cancel and close our Databricks tab and head back to the home page of our Azure portal. Back on our Azure portal, go to the navigation bar and look for Microsoft Entra ID or Azure Active Directory if you're on the older versions. Go to Manage, Users, and then you'll see the admin account that we used to create our Azure portal. What we are going to do is to create a new admin user and then assign the user the global administrator privileges and then make the user the owner of our resource group. So that particular user will have the same privileges as this current user that I have here. So what I'll do is go to Create User, Create New User, and the user principal name. What name I'd like to give to the user, I'd like to call them Databricks Admin, so DB Admin. And then the display name, I'd like to call them Databricks Admin. This password, if you like, you can use the auto-generated password, or you could also just enter your own password. But please do note that you will be required to change this password the first time you try to log in. Click on Next to go to Properties. The first name will just be my name. Last name, my name. User type, member. Then I'll leave everything as default. Go to Assignment. I'm going to add some roles to this particular user. So here I'll go to Role, Add Role, search for Global Administrator. Select Global Administrator. Select. Go to Review and Create. Again, leave everything as is and then create the user. And the user has been created successfully. To see the user, click on the refresh button and the user's name will appear under your user's default directory. Next, what I'm going to do is navigate to our resource group. Go to the Microsoft Azure portal, the home page, and select the resource group. This is it. Big Data RG is our resource group. I'm going to go to Access Control IAM. And I'll go to Role Assignment. Currently, I have just my default user as the owner of this resource group. So currently, this is the only user that can perform administrative tasks on our Databricks workspace. So what I'll do is go to Add, the +Add button at the top of your screen, Add Role Assignment. And here what you're going to do is to add a privileged administrator role. So click on Privileged Administrator Role and then select Owner. We're going to add a new owner to this resource group. This is the resource group under Control. Then add a new owner. Click on Owner and click on Next to select the person. Now we are going to add a user, not a managed identity. Select on Members. So if you click on Members, it's going to look for users within your default directory. And there is shown the users on the right hand side of your screen, and I'm going to select the Databricks Admin as a new user. Click on Select at the bottom of your screen. The new user has been added as an owner to this resource group, and I'm going to click on Next. And I'm going to give the user highly privileged roles. So I'm going to allow the user to assign all roles. Select the last one, click on next to review and assign. This is the user's display name, then review and assign. That's it. Now the new user also has owner privileges under this resource group. What I'm going to do is log out of this account and then log in using this Databricks admin account. But before I do that, I need to go back to the Microsoft Entra ID. I'm going to log out from this particular user and then log in using the newly created admin user. So to do that, navigate back to Microsoft Entra ID and under Manage, click on Users. And let's show the user's complete user principal name. So I'm going to copy this. Copy that, and remember not to forget your password. You need to remember your password in order to log in the first time and then change your password. So let's go to log out here, sign out. And here I'm trying to sign in again using the new user. So let's delete this particular user here, forget. Sign in using another account. New email. This is the new user's principal name. Click on next and enter the password. Now you are being required to change the password because this is the first time the user is logging in. So let's go ahead, enter the current password and then your new password and confirm your new password. You are being required to set up your multi-factor authentication. This is a requirement for all new accounts that you create on Azure. So let's go ahead and set up our multi-factor authentication. Click on next. Our multi-factor authentication process is complete and we are now logged in using the Databricks admin user. To navigate to our Databricks workspace, let's click on the navigation bar, navigation menu, and select all resources, resource manager. And there we have our resources over here under our resource group that we had added this particular user as an owner. If you don't add this particular user as an owner to this particular resource group, you will not see this. Even though the new Databricks admin user has got global admin privileges, they will not have access to this particular resource group and its associated resources. So let's go ahead and open the Databricks workspace resource. Launch workspace to sign in via the single sign-on. Let's check which user we have right now in Databricks, and it's our Databricks admin user. Let's try again to create our storage credential using the new admin user. Go ahead to Catalog, go to External Data, then go to Credentials. This was the default storage credential created by Databricks. Let's ignore that and click on Create Credential. Again, let's enter a name for our storage credential. And now let's navigate back to Azure portal and open our Access Connector resource page and copy the Access Connector resource ID and come and paste it here. This is the Access Connector. Open it and copy the resource ID right here. This is the resource ID. Go back to Databricks and paste the resource ID. And that's it. Now, once again, let's try to create our storage credential with the new Databricks admin account and see what happens. And it's been created successfully. We can now use the storage credential to create external locations and talk to containers in our Azure Data Lake storage.